All right, folks, this is kind of my quick public service announcement on picking out appliances. What a pain in the butt trying to figure out what's going to work when you get it home after a while. But I'm going to try to return this Samsung after 3 months of using it, maybe 4 months, because it's got what I think is a dangerous design flaw. So something for you to look out for are these controls. Now, I picked these controls because I wanted large knobs that I thought I could read, but the paint job on these numbers right here, you can see that you can't even see them from this angle. You have to get the perfect lighting, the perfect angle to see these numbers. They're in there. See how faint they are? They did like gray on gray paint. Now, I have no idea what, and then you can't even tell what burner you're in unless you got an eagle eye and a magnifying glass. What I liked about it is I wanted the simple controls. This thing was matte finished, this plastic. Some of them had gloss finish and it just like reflected all the light and you couldn't see the darn controls. It's kind of what I thought was the lesser of the evils. And then I get it home and I discover the hazard of this 3-burner burner here. The controls on this obviously are divided into 3 segments because you're controlling 3 different burners, the small, medium, and large. Now, what's the dangerous part about this thing? I'll show you. Normally, controls have a notch. You go to high and you have a notch and you can feel it. It falls into this notch. Now you want to go down to low and you're anticipating a notch. No, there's no notch. So on a dial that has 3 burners on one knob, you obviously have less modulation. You only have a third of a dial to control one burner. What happens is you think you go to low, and since there's no notch, the next notch is high. See, it falls into that notch, high on the next larger burner. So here you are with your little pot, and you think you're slapping it into low because she's already simmering pretty aggressively, and that's not the case. You've actually fallen into high on the next larger burner. So you turn your back, you wash your hands or whatever in the sink, and you turn back and your pot's going crazy and your burner's on the next larger size, and you've got a overheat situation, which I just had this week on my fry pan because I was using our favorite burner size for the fry pan was right here, and I was going to low. And you think, okay, I'm gonna go to low, and as you know, I'm at a low angle here, so it looks, you know, from where at a normal standing angle, it looks like you're perfectly in low. But if you go a millimeter too far, there's no notch for low. And then what happens? Watch, boom. I'm in high on the next burner. No notch for low, so I blow right past that and it automatically wants to jump into high on the largest burner. So here I am, yikes. That's what's happening. I turn my back, I think I'm in low. My fry pan goes to, you know, I'm using the medium. Now I'm on the largest burner and things out of control. There was sauce and oil spraying everywhere. I literally had to pick the pan up and, you know, run for high ground. But basically, I think that is a ludicrous design flaw. Now, you may say, oh, I'm just being a moron and not, you know, watching the controls. Well, first of all, you can't see the damn paint. Second of all, there's no notch. And what shows me it's a design flaw, which needs to be corrected, is here, this one. Lo and behold, it has a notch at low, right there. And if I do happen to miss it with the notch, what do? I go to low on the next higher burner, next larger burner. I don't go to high. I default to low. Not that risky. This one, if they had made the default from low to low, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But they made the default, no notch, defaults to high, falls right into high on the next larger burner. Horrible design. They're getting the stove back whether they like it or not. I can guarantee that. And just wanted to give you a heads up. Be careful when you pick your appliances. It gets difficult to see what works and what doesn't. Good luck.